guys, it's Phil coming back at you with another video. Today, I'm back. I'm excited. I'm pumped up. Hopefully, everyone's doing well. Not letting one thought, one situation, one person take them outside of what they know to be true. Today, I'm going to be sharing the last free study group of 2022, and I met my goal of doing a free study group every single month. So those that have been rapping and rocking with me know that I've been trying to do as many free study groups as I possibly can. And at the beginning of the year, I wanted to do at least one per month, and that has been done. And the next free study group is on 12/17 at 3 p.m. Eastern time. If you don't want to watch the entire video, the way that you register is by going to my calendar at fillinthegaps.as.me, register for the session. It'll send you a reminder email and you'll be good to go. If you want the more in-depth explanation, wait until the end of the video. And from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate every single one of you guys that have been repping and rocking with me throughout this entire year. As the year comes to an end, it's also a time to reflect and identify what we're thankful for, what we're grateful for, and all these different things. And I don't want that to be lost. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate every single one of you guys. I love every single one of you that is in the Fill in the Gaps community. If you want to rep and rock with me and come to my Sunday study groups and all those things, I'm going to provide the information for that. But at any capacity, if you're sharing my name, if you're doing anything with the Fill in the Gaps community, just know that I appreciate you and everything. The easiest way to rep and rock with me is to attend the Sunday study groups, and those are at 7 p.m. Eastern time until they kick us out. They can't kick us out. I'm the host. So those sessions typically are 4 or 5, sometimes 6 hours long, and there's a question and answer segment after each session, so that way you're able to directly interact with me. They're paid sessions. The next ones that are coming up are as follows. 12/18, this is going over the acronym and practice questions. The acronym: safety, feelings, assess, refer, educate, advocate, facilitate, and intervene. The different myths that people spread about the exam, the 6-step process that I would recommend every single person to keep in mind as they're going to the exam, kicking it directly in the chest to get the job done, as well as going over tips, as well as providing motivation to those that are not feeling as comfortable and confident in their process of being able to go in the exam, kick it directly in the chest to get the job done, and then going over 10 practice questions related to those. Then we're taking Christmas off because I'm going to be spending the time with my family, and I hope that you do the same and are practicing on care and doing everything that you need to charge yourself up. Then we'll kick it right back off on 1/1 of the new year, going over community interventions, going over the stages of community organizing, going over the different types of advocacy, different types of things that you can see as it relates to community work, and demystifying some of the things that people typically spread, as well as the phases of case management, and then going over practice questions related to those. The next one after that is 1/8, going over meds and DSM-5, so going over the medications, antidepressants, anti-anxiety medications, ADHD medications, the mood stabilizers, the antipsychotic medications, and then the different disorders that could be related to those. Not ways to memorize anything, but ways to be able to recognize and apply it to go in the exam, kick it directly in the chest to get the job done, and then going over practice questions related to those. And the next one after that is 1/15. DSM-5 children, so going over different children diagnoses as well as practice questions related to those. The next one after that is 122, client intervention, so going over individual therapy modalities as well as family modalities. Not ways to memorize any of them, but ways to be able to recognize and apply them as you can see them on the exam, so that way you're not templating or going in there robotically. The next one after that is 129, practice questions, so going over the different types of questions that you can see on the exam. The 6-step process that I recommend people to keep in mind as they're preparing for and breaking down the questions to go in the exam, kick it directly in the chest to get the job done. Going over tips as well as motivation, as well as 15 practice questions. And if you want any information related to those, send me an email at berda24@gmail.com or click the link down below in the description, which is the view more under the title. It'll take you to my calendar. You can register for the sessions. If you're not able to attend the sessions live, when you register for the session, you can receive the recording as well as the materials to review at your own leisure, as well as if your exam's coming up prior to some of these topics that you want to see, it's 100% possible to purchase a previously recorded version. So send me an email at berda24@gmail.com, as well as I do still offer individual tutoring sessions if you want to directly interact with me, talk about your process of being able to better prepare for the exam, practice questions or content or whatever you particularly need. It is available. You can do so by sending me an email at berda24@gmail.com or clicking the link down below in the description, as well as I'm bringing back the one-day course. The one-day course has been the most successful thing that I've done. Why? It gives you the most amount of time where you're repping and rocking with me, packing as many strategies, techniques, materials, and content areas as I possibly can. And for those that come to the one-day course, they're oftentimes surprised, like, man, I did not know that this was going to be so helpful, or man, I didn't really think that it was going to be that long, or what the heck is going on. So the one-day course has been the most successful thing that I've ever done, and allows for you to become more confident and motivated to be able to go into the exam, kick it directly in the chest to get the job done. The next one is on 1/7/2023 from 11 a.m. Eastern time until they kick us out. They can't kick us out. I'm the host, and it's going over the tips that I found most helpful for people to keep in mind as they're preparing for it to go in the exam, kick it directly in the chest to get the job done. Most common reasons why people fail the exam, because what better way to learn what not to do inside of the exam than those that have made the mistakes and have identified ways to improve it at that given moment. A mixture of topics, subpoena versus court order, operant conditioning. When we're looking at supervision versus a referral, so different ethical considerations. We're looking at the medications, the personality disorders, the bipolar 1 versus bipolar 2 disorders, the medications, as well as the acronym safety, feelings, assess, refer, educate, advocate, facilitate, and intervene. The 6-step process that I recommend every single person to keep in mind as they're breaking down questions inside of the exam, as well as tying it all together with 25 practice questions. So if you're feeling unmotivated, you're not sure where to start, you failed the exam and you're beating yourself up, the one-day course is the easiest way to be able to jumpstart and charge yourself up to be able to destroy the exam in the future and go in the exam, kick it directly in the chest to get the job done. If you want any information related to the one-day course, send me an email at berda24@gmail.com or click the link down below in the description, the view more in the title. You register, and if your exam's prior to 1/7 and you want to get a previously recorded version, it's 100% possible. You can send me an email at berda24@gmail.com. So berda24@gmail.com. And if you have any thoughts, questions, or anything, do me a favor, drop me a shout. I'll try my best to help out any way that I possibly can. And if you haven't already, hit the like button down below, the thumbs up, and it allows for other amazing social workers just like you to rep and rock with me as well. And if you're planning to come to the free session, or if you're going through something, or something positive has happened, you win the exam, kicked it directly in the chest, got the job done, leave a comment down below, because I don't know about anybody else, but I read every single comment and I try to reply to as many comments as I possibly can. As well as, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button down below, hit the bell notification next to it, because it'll send you an email every single time that I upload a video, and I appreciate every single person that has done that so far. As well as, for those that do not know, Audible's continue to partner me with my YouTube videos on my podcast as well. So if you want to support me as well as support them, go to my Audible affiliate link at www.audibletrial.com/fill-in-the-gaps. Sign up for the 30-day free trial, and signing up for the 30-day free trial is the easiest way that you can support me, because it costs you absolutely nothing, and you can get yourself a free book. And if you're wondering, man, what book should I get with my free book? There are a couple that I'd recommend: You, The Alchemist, The Archer, as well as Traumatized. Each book has a lesson, not just to help you progress professionally, but personally to become the best possible version of yourself. I know those books have definitely impacted the way that I view life in different situations, and some of those messages I've shared with you guys as well. So again, if you want to rep and rock with me and support me as well as support them, go to my Audible affiliate link at www.audibletrial.com/fill-in-the-gaps. Sign up for the 30-day free trial, and I appreciate every single person that has already done that. And as I stated, the next free study group is going to be this Saturday, 12/17, 3 p.m. Eastern time, until they kick us out. They can't kick us out. I'm the host. You can register for the session by going to my calendar at fillinthegaps.as.me or clicking the link down below in the description, which is the view more under the title. It says free study group. And then now I'm going to walk you through how you can actually register for it, because the calendar sometimes arm wrestles people and they're not able to really get into the session. So again, the calendar URL is fillinthegaps.as.me or click the link down below in the description. So once you go to the link for the calendar, again, fillinthegaps.as.me or click the link down below in the description, it will take you to my calendar, which looks exactly like this. So it's going to be the overall calendar that I have. So my tutoring sessions, free study group, the one-day courses, as well as the Sunday study group. So for the free study group, just click book. And this is where a lot of times people get mixed up. They're like, man, it's not letting me go forward. Select your time zone. Mine is Eastern time zone, and then hit set time zone. So when you hit set time zone, it is going to allow for you to now see the calendar. So once you get to this calendar window, it's going to have one date. Remember, the date is going to be December 17th. And whatever time that is, you can select that, hit continue. And again, it's 3 p.m. Eastern time, and then you'll enter your name. Again, for those that don't know, my name is Phil Potrell. And then my email is berda24@gmail.com. And that's all you have to do. Check your name, check your email address, make sure that it's the exact same, and make sure it's accurate so that way you don't miss any of the notifications or anything like that. Hit complete employment, and then you're A-OK. So again, go to the calendar, fillinthegaps.as.me. You'll go to the free study group, click that, select your time zone, hit set time zone, hit the 17th, whatever time zone the time is. If you're in Eastern time, it's 3 p.m. Eastern time. You'll hit continue. You'll enter your information, enter your name, your email address, make sure it's all accurate because you'll send that in and you'll get an initial confirmation, a 48-hour and a 24-hour reminder email. If you're worried that you're not going to be able to get the link, click it once it comes to this page, and this is going to be the link to the session. So the meeting ID, if you're like, man, I'm not really sure if I'm going to be able to get all that down, is 8633-2520466. So those are all the instructions that are needed in order to attend the free study group this Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So again, relatively simple. If you have any issues, send me an email at berda24@gmail.com, and I'll try my best to help out in any way that I can. So those are the instructions on how to register for the free study group. And if that's all you were looking for is the instructions on the free study group, those are all that you really need. But if you rock with me heavy and you're like, man, Phil, I'm not feeling motivated, I'm not feeling pumped up, I'm not sure what I should do, there's a couple thoughts that I've been having, because I always like to share the thoughts that I'm having as I'm going through it, so that way you guys can learn from what I'm going through as well, is just reconfigure. And I was thinking about what I need to do, some changes I need to make, and all these different things in my life of like, man, how can you find stability, or how can you find some contentment, or how could you give yourself credit for the things that you've been doing, or how do you do all of these things? And in a discussion that I was having with my mom, is she said the word calibrate or like recalibrate, and she's like, man, I don't know what that word means. And I was explaining it to her like, man, to recalibrate something means to like find balance, or to get back into a sense of qualm or operation. And then it had me thinking of, man, when we're going through tough things, or when we're doing things in our life, we have to recalibrate every situation that we get into. But as social workers and as humans and as people, we oftentimes don't recalibrate. We just keep going and keep redoing the same thing over and over and over. So if you're feeling unbalanced, or like you can't do something, or like you're not where you want to be, recalibrate, or even reconfigure, if you will. Because reconfigure means to just identify what is going on within a situation and to do something in a different way to change the presentation. But if you separate the words out, re means to do something over, con means to persuade. So recon means to do something over and persuade yourself into it, but figure is the presentation. So reconfigure is to redo something, persuade yourself in some way, and make it look differently than it did before. So if you're feeling defeated and beat up and like you can't do this, remind yourself that in any given situation that you must recalibrate, you must reconfigure everything, but what you hear inside of your mind is what's going to determine what you want to see in your future. So if you're being negative on yourself and beating yourself up and saying, this is never going to happen for me, or man, this other person over here has already passed their exams, or man, I'm not present for my family, or man, it's the holidays, I'm stressed out, is anybody going to ask me about my test, or man, the exam's changing and there's 3 answer choices versus 4 answer choices, what should I do, I'm panicking, and all these different things. Reconfigure, identify, and figure out what is actually going to be substantial at this given moment, because when you reconfigure, to configure out what you're actually going to do, because when you reconfigure something, you're going to reanalyze something, persuade yourself, and identify what you want it to actually look like. But a lot of times people are not basing what they think is going to happen on facts. They're basing it on their feelings and letting their feelings punk them out and say, you know what, this person's probably going to say this to me, or man, this is probably going to be the result of what I'm doing, so I might as well not do it, or I'm going to do this. And I was talking to somebody last night, they're like, man, Phil, why do I always get in front of myself, or man, why do I always tell myself things aren't going to work out when it's something that I truly want to get done? And I remember telling them, you're trying to protect yourself from something that you don't feel ready for. But the problem is, as humans, we never know what we're ready for until we're in that moment and we've shown up with what we have at that moment. Because you don't know what you're capable of until you're put in the face of adversity and have to stand up to it and not fold like a deck of cards or stand back and say, I don't have what it needs to get me there. You have to remind yourself where you are at today is where you're meant to be, and the skills and talents and abilities that you have are enough, and they should be pushing you forward. And if you're not recognizing the lessons and blessings and all these skills and strategies that you possess, either because somebody's telling you that you're not good enough, you're telling yourself you're not good enough, or you still have that negative self-talk of like, I'm never going to make it, or all these different things, or I'm comparing myself to somebody else, or I'm doing what somebody else told me to do and it's not working. You have to sit yourself down and say, I am not here by mistake. I'm not doing things that are going to just be meaningless. I got to drive meaning out of everything that I do. do and reconfigure and figure out, what do I need? Who do I need to talk to? And what do I want my life to look like? Because if I'm walking in the path that somebody else is telling me that I should be doing, if it's not a path that I don't actually want to walk down, I'm going to be letting them drive me, and I feel like I'm letting them down, but I'm really letting myself down because I'm not doing what I was meant to do on this given planet. Because at the end of the day, as a human, if you're not getting pleasure from the things that you're doing, you're not finding fulfillment, you're not finding a reason for why you're doing what you're doing, it's going to be easy for you to throw your hands up in defeat. And again, I always tell people, don't throw your hands up in defeat, throw your hands up ready to fight for your right to become the best possible version of yourself. But sometimes when you're throwing up your hands to fight, you're fighting yourself and beating yourself up because you think that you don't need all the stuff that was put into your life, or somebody's trying to help you out, but you've always thought that help is going to equate to weakness, or get an assistance, or not doing it the way that somebody else is going to do it is going to be a less capable product. But that's not the case. It is the product that you're going to derive and develop because of who you are. So my push for you is to reconfigure and figure out what you've been telling yourself, what you've been doing, and is it actually working? Because if you keep hitting your head against the wall, or if you keep hitting a wall, sometimes walls aren't put up to block you from something. Walls are put up to tell you that you need to take a step back and relax in order for you to sidestep the wall and step into a situation that is going to help elevate you to the spaces and places that you deserve to be in. So if you're there for the holidays and your family's asking you about the test and it makes you feel anxious and nervous, you can just tell them, I'm still trying to become the best, the possible version of myself that I can possibly be, but I can't speed up the timeline. I can't speed up the clock. I can't change anything that's already happened. But what I can do is promise you that every single day that I have a heartbeat in my chest, that I'm going to face the day and do everything that I can, because I got enough heart inside of me that is going to drive me to spaces that you don't even know that I'm going to get to. I don't even know if they're going to get me to those spaces, but as long as you trust me and as long as you're repping and rocking with me, I will not fail us at any given moment. And if they're like, man, and they're feeling defensive, say, you know what? I'm not coming at you. I'm coming at who I thought I should be in the past and letting them go, because I don't need to be looking at myself as something that doesn't deserve what I'm actually doing. Because a lot of times when people are asking you about the test, or people are asking you about things that they think that you should be doing that you've not been doing, you're not reacting at them. You're reacting and feeling resentful and shameful that you're feeling like there's going to be a disconnect within your relationship. But the only time there's a disconnect in the relationship, when the relationship's not built on something that you're actually meaning to do, or that is meaningful to that interaction at that given moment. So if you're struggling, not feeling motivated, you're like, man, is the exam changes going to impact me? What you got to really ask yourself is, are the things that I'm focusing on actually going to derive any progress, or are the things that I'm actually focusing on actually going to provide me more energy or more substance? Or are they taken away from my energy and substance and me taking my foot off the pedal, which is going to cause me to lose energy and focus and progress in the future? So focus on the controllables, not the things that you think are going to hope to occur, but focus on the things that you can do at this given moment. So when you're trying to figure it out, don't be aggressive or degrading to yourself, but remind yourself that you're still practicing and becoming who you need to be in order to become the best possible social worker and person that you can be at this moment. But a problem is, a lot of professionals, as they become successful, or as they don't get what they want when they want it in the timeline that they want it, they become resentful, or they become defensive, or they become in this mode of like, I should already be here, or man, there are things against me and I'm not sure why. But what you have to remind yourself is you're still learning every single day. I'm learning something new every single day. And that's not cliche of like, haha, I'm going to learn something every single day. But as a human, I've never experienced everything that could possibly be occurring at this moment. So as you're studying, it'd be impossible for you to be able to determine every topic or every situation or every example or every question or anything as it relates to the test. But what you can do is go in with an open mind, open your situation up, and allow for yourself to understand something versus, I can't stand that. You know what? ASWB is never going to want me to pass, or man, they're doing all these different things, or man, all these barriers. But a lot of times barriers aren't something that's preventing you. A barrier is there to make you different than somebody else, to elevate you to spaces and places that other people may not be able to get to. So lean into the things that you think are not valuable, or lean into who you once were, and remind yourself that you're different than who you once were because you're doing different things every single day. So in order to reconfigure yourself, you must, again, redo what has already been done. Persuade yourself with information that is actually going to be helpful and conducive to your growth versus just things that make you feel good or that things have been introduced to you as like magic bullets or spells or like magic tricks of like, just do this and everything's going to work out. Because again, if you have 100% chance of doing something, it's not something that's on this planet. And what I mean by that is everything is a game of chance. There's never a 100% chance that something's going to occur. There may be a 99.9% that it could, but there's always a chance that it may not. So you must go into a situation not with criticalness, but curiosity and identifying, what is this situation saying? What are the things I can learn from it? What are the things that I can grow from? What are the things that I'm not having at my situation? What are the things that I need at this given moment? And give yourself credit and space and an opportunity to become what you need to be. Because you look at the word learn, separate it out, L, take that away because we're not taking L's anymore. You're earning from every single situation that you're in. But if you're not viewing it as a lesson and blessing, or not viewing it as something that can give back to you, you're viewing it as something that's taken from you. And if you feel like you're in a deficit, even though you're in a surplus, there ain't nothing that's ever going to make you feel content with and for your situation. So find everything that you're grateful for, everything that you can count on, and identify the progress and growth that you've made, because it may not be as much as you thought it would be, but the person that you once were would be celebrating and throwing a party and saying, woo, we made it, we did it, and everything was not what we thought it would feel like or what it would look like, but I'm still alive and I still have a reason and I still have a purpose and I can get this done. It may not be in the timeline that I thought it was, but I ain't the all ruler of time. I can't roll back time, but what I can do is be mindful in this moment and make every single second count and make every single second valuable, because people are just mindlessly going through things and losing their mind because they're being less of who they thought they would be at that given moment. So never lose yourself, never lose an opportunity. Don't take anything for granted, because everything can be taken from us at any given moment. So keep trucking, keep going, keep doing the next right thing. Don't let a failed practice exam, don't let somebody in your life degrade you. Don't let somebody kind of convince you that there's a shortcut. Don't let anybody get inside of your mind, because once you start doing that, you start giving them control. And as humans, we hate to be out of control. And you view, man, I need control at any given moment. But sometimes you got to trust the right people. But if you trust too many people, it'll make you never trust anybody. So reconfigure, identify what you need, embrace what you got, and do everything that you possibly can at this moment to become everything that you possibly could be. Don't let anything in your life deter you, but don't let all the things that you're going through make you stop and not get to where you want to go. So don't let them stop you. Don't just be like, boop, I'm out. Let them embrace who you are and identify the lens that you can get and identify where you can possibly go. So hopefully that was helpful for at least one person, because like I said, anything that I'm thinking or anything that I'm going through, I'd like to bring it back to you guys, because you guys are my family. I care about you guys. I want you guys to become the best possible version of yourselves too. And as a human, we're all just trying to figure this thing out. Even outside of the test, even outside of all these different things, you got to find a reason to smile. You got to find a reason to become the best possible that you possibly can be. Not somebody else can be, but what you can be. Not what somebody else told you should be, but what you can be. Not what somebody wants you to be, but what you actually want to be and what you can actually do at that given moment. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate every single one of you guys. Take care, be safe. Hope to see you in the free study group this Saturday, or in any of the Sunday study groups, or individual tutoring, or in any capacity. Again, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate every single one of you guys. I love every single one of you guys. If you need anything, drop me a shout, send me an email at berda24@gmail.com. I'm getting the heck out of here. I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace out, guys.